the line with JoJo Diaz. Just talk to me about the past couple of weeks, Devin, trying to negotiate this fight. I'm sure you assumed yourself it may or may not happen. You know, what was going through your mind? Did you ever think it may not happen?
Of course. I mean, I thought, maybe it may not happen, maybe it will happen. We were still looking at other guys, just in case that the fight didn't happen. But Eddie was confident that it would happen, so we got the job done. It happened, and I look forward to it now.
What were the factors behind this fight taking a bit longer to get it over the line?
Money. That was the main thing. Money. I mean, stuff I can't really I don't know too much about, but I just know that the numbers wise.
We've seen the back and forth over social media between yourself and JoJo whilst the negotiations were ongoing. Has that built this fight up a little bit more for you? Has it made a little bit of bad blood almost?
I mean, it's just talk at the end of the day. I know JoJo. He all he want to do is talk. JoJo, he's the type of person. He talk on the internet. That he DM me to go to beg to go live with me. So I know that he just wants some clout. That's all.
Devin, this fight with JoJo, do you see this as the toughest test in your career so far? Is he tougher than Jorge Linares?
On paper, it's the toughest test. Because he's young, he's hungry, he's coming at the best win of his career against Fortuna. So. He's gonna come with it. He's gonna bring his all, and I'm happy that I finally can get a fighter that's in their prime, young, hungry, and at the top. So I'm excited for it.
So stylistically, Devin, how do you expect the pair of you to match up when you are in the ring? What are you expecting JoJo to bring into this fight that you may not have come up against previously?
I can't. He's not gonna bring nothing to the table that I haven't. Excuse me. He's not gonna bring nothing to the table that I've never seen before. He doesn't do nothing that out of the ordinary. I know that he's gonna come in there. He's gonna come to fight. He's coming to win. He's gonna try to put the pressure on, try to rough me up. But we'll see how that works for him.
Because Tio fights a week before you as well, do you feel like you want to make a bit of a statement on the back of that? Because I know you've had your altercation at the Garcia Martin fight, and just talk about that fight taking place next year.
I mean, I'm not really worried about Teofimo and his fight. Not a lot of people really are focused on his fight. It's not because it's just because they've been pushed back so long, been prolonged. Now everybody's just kind of tired of it. So it is what it is. The fight that the world is going to want to see is me and JoJo. It is what it is.
We saw Teofimo yesterday, and he said that he asked for WBC to put a petition out for you to sign, so then you two can face off next year. And his dad said you haven't signed it yet. Can you just clarify that?
I don't even know what he's talking about. Honestly, I don't even know what he's talking about.
Do you expect the pair of you to face off next year?
I hope so. Yeah. Inshallah, we get to fight next year. I want to make the fight happen. I've been calling for it for a while, so you guys keep asking me over and over and over. Do I want to make the fight happen? It's obvious. I've been saying it for a while now. For all the belts, it's the biggest fight in the lightweight division, so why not?
Devin, what did you take away from your altercation ringside from that Garcia Martin fight when the pair of you were talking? Again, speaking to Tio yesterday, he said he spoke over you, and he said that showed kind of the level of confidence you had in comparison to him.
If that's what he got from it, that's what he got from it. I'm happy that we came to an agreement, and hopefully he follows through on his side and we make the fight happen. We can talk over somebody all you want, but at the end of the day, when you get in the ring, is when it all matters. Talking don't win fights.
Just two fights to quickly get your thoughts on Lopez Cambostas. What do you make of Tio's fight there?
Don't even care about it.
And then you also got Tank and Cruz. Again, your thoughts?
I think that that's an easy fight with Tank. Cruz, I don't really know too much about him. I know that he's a dog, that he got that he's going to come to fight, but I just think Tank is on a total different level than him.
The final one, Devin. Canelo Plant this weekend, undisputed. Your thoughts?
I love Caleb. That's my boy. I've been knowing Caleb for a long time, so I'm rooting for Caleb. I want him to bring it home, but it's a tough task. We'll see what happens.
Devin, thank you.
Devin, you talked about Pitbull and Gervonta. You think Gervonta made an easy fight. What did you think about the Rolling situation? Why he's not being in the fight?
What I think about his
just the situation.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I can't really speak on it. I don't really know too much about it. None of us really know too much about it. It's no facts behind it, so I can't, bash him or say anything. And I would never kick somebody while they're down. At the end of the day, I hope that he comes out on top of it, and I hope that it's not true because I never want to see that it would happen with nobody. I got sisters, I got a mom, I got females in my family that I care about a lot, so I would never want to see that. I would never wish that on anybody, him or the females that are accusing him of it. So I hope that he comes out on top.
So yesterday, Victor Conte said that JoJo have yet to enroll in Nevada drug testing.
Yeah, that is 100% true. I've been trying to push the Nevada testing on them. They haven't seemed to enroll yet, and hopefully, they enroll soon because, it may put this fight in jeopardy if he doesn't enroll in Nevada.
JoJo Diaz has been calling you out, Ryan Garcia out, all the top lightweights out. He's finally got one in you for this WBC title here. Are you expecting the best JoJo Diaz? And after that Jorge Linares fight, he was your toughest test today, but it seems like you're progressing nicely now. You're getting the big names that you need in this division, but again, are you expecting the best JoJo Diaz?
Of course, I'm definitely expecting the best JoJo Diaz. This is the best fighter on paper. It's a huge fight for me. It's a huge fight for boxing. This is one of the fights that I've been calling for. It's not the Ryan Garcia, it's not Tank Davis, it's not Teofimo, but it's the next step there, and I'm happy that the fight is finally made. I think that it has been we've been getting great feedback from the media, the fans, and I think a lot of people love this fight, and I love the fight for me as well.
See, because obviously JoJo Diaz is down at that fringe level on the lightweights. All this media right here that's facing you right now, all the fans, the boxing fans, they want to see you, Teofimo Lopez, the Garcias, the Javante Davises and stuff like that in 2022. What do you have to do on your part? I know the altercation in Fresno with Teo, but again, as a fighter, what do you have to do on your part to get this fight over the line?
I just got to keep winning at the end of the day. This fight happens because I keep winning. He keeps winning, and that's how the fight played out, and that's how all the rest of the fights in the lightweight division is going to play out. Eventually, we're all going to meet up one day. Of course, I want it sooner than later, but eventually, we're all going to end up fighting, and I look forward to it.
I know you've answered this as well, but I want to just reiterate it. Teofimo Lopez Sr. said about he got in touch with Mauricio Suleiman, and Suleiman said that he's going to write a petition, send it to you and your dad. I don't know if you've got it yet, but if that petition does cross your door, land on your desk or whatever, will you sign that and fight Teofimo next year?
What petition? What
petition? According to him, it was to make you
mandatory. Make you mandatory for Teofimo.
You don't even need to make me mandatory. That's a fight that I don't need to be mandatory for the fight to happen. This is a fight that me and my promoter want, my dad want. We all want this fight. So to send a petition is retarded. It's not like they ever sent me an offer and I declined the offer or nothing like that. So why would you try to petition? It's just you can't believe these lies that come out of his mouth. He talks in circles. It's unbelievable. You want to do a petition to the WBC for what? It's a fight that we both want. When have you ever heard of this?
Yeah. So is it just a case of both you saying yes then?
Everybody knew that Caleb wanted to fight Canelo. So why would Canelo send Caleb a petition? What would it do? Well, we want to make the fight happen. He talks in circles. Don't believe the lies that he tells.
Yeah. Yesterday, it was brought up, obviously, once again, the meeting with Bob, and Eddie Hearn said that he never heard of a meeting. He said that a meeting would never even happen if he's not even contacted. Was that more so of the case? Because it seems that they keep bringing up this meeting with Bob that, your father, Bill, never...
Like Eddie said that he don't know nothing about the meeting. The meeting didn't happen. It never crossed his desk, so... I told you, you can't believe this guy. This guy talks in circles. He tells lies after lie after lie, and it is what it is. Don't listen to Teofimo. The guy, I really think that something's wrong with him. He's going crazy because at this point, I was watching some of this stuff he was doing with the media yesterday, and he's talking in circles.
Well, Devin, what makes you better than Teofimo?
Looking to show, being that you guys are fighting back-to-back
Skills
weeks.
pay the bills.
Skills pay the bills.
Being that you guys are fighting back-to-back weeks, are you looking to show him up with your performance, have a stronger performance than what he's coming with?
I'm not in competition with Teofimo on performance or whatever the case may be. I know at the end of the day, it is what it is. Styles make fights, He can do what he's going to do in his fight. I can do what I'm going to do in this fight. That doesn't matter at the end of the day. We got to get in there and see who's the better man. So at the end of the day, performances on each of those nights don't make a difference because we get in there.
Devin, what skills do you possess that make you better than any other lightweights in the division?
my ring IQ, my ring generalship. You've seen against Jorge Linares. He talked about how much experience that he had, but at the end of the day, he won 2 rounds in the whole fight. I scored him up to that point, so it just shows you, how much experience I actually have myself.
Devin, seeing the fact that the JoJo fight was made so easily, why was it easy to make that, but not the Ryan Garcia?
I wouldn't say it was made easily because at the end of the day, JoJo Diaz was my mandatory. So if it was so easy, the fight should have been made. He shouldn't even never have been in negotiations with Ryan Garcia. That fight should never even have been made. It seems like we had to corner him in to take the fight because it should have been much easier to make because he was my mandatory. Why do I have to chase him and he's my mandatory?
Well, we'll see. Speaking to Eddie Hearn, yes.
Too much on December 4th. What's going to be too much for JoJo?
Everything. JoJo Diaz isn't better than me in no kind of way. Name one thing that you can say that he does better than me.
Devin, right now at this moment, speaking about Teofimo Lopez, do you feel like there's going to be bad blood going into the future? It will be business or just personal. Obviously, he's in your way in your career.
I don't really care about Teofimo right now. My main focus is JoJo Diaz. JoJo Diaz is a tough opponent that I cannot take lightly, of course, and I look forward to December the 4th. Let Teofimo go do what he's going to do on what day he fight?
27.
So the week before me. So let him do what he's going to do in his fight. I do what I'm going to do in my fight, and whatever he keep talking this petition bullshit, whatever he's talking about, we'll see at the end of the day, and we'll see if the fight gets made.
Well, we'll see. Eddie Hearn yesterday said that if Bob Arum isn't willing to pay for this fight, that he'll pay for it for the first 3 months of next year. What does that say to Eddie Hearn in your business partner?
He know where the money at. That's why he came over here with us. He say he's so big and he's so this. He got the belts. He go all that. Why you fighting on DAZN? Ain't you with Top Rank and ESPN? Why you over here with us? Why you over here having media workouts and kissing my promoter's ass? Oh, okay. Yeah, well, okay.
Hey, Teofimo Lopez said that Lomachenko beats you, Shakur, and Tank, but he continues to dismiss the fact that Lomachenko gave up his belt.
Lomachenko beat him again. If Lomachenko's gonna beat him, that's why he talking about he trying to put Lomachenko off. Oh, he should fight him. Man, Lomachenko beat him if they fight again.
If he's not coming to the table for the fight, would you want to fight Lomachenko?
Of course, man. I'm not ducking or dodging nobody. I want to make the biggest fights happen. I've been calling for Lomachenko for as long as I can remember. You see this belt? I got this from Lomachenko. Come on now. I've been calling for Lomachenko for a while now, so make it make sense.
Devin, how does your fight end?
More decisively, Devin? Would you win that fight more decisively?
Styles make fights. At the end of the day, I'm gonna come out victorious.
Does Ryan Garcia even play a factor anymore? And seeing the fact he's been kind of inactive.
Of course, Ryan Garcia is a huge draw. He can come back to the sport. He can go and do great against some tough competitors. You can't count him out. You can't say, oh, just because he got injured or he's not in the right state of mind. That don't mean that he can't go in there and still do good.
What do you make of the comments that Canelo? I don't know if you saw the comments Canelo made regarding Ryan recently, saying okay. What'd you make of that? Obviously that's somebody that is extremely close to him and in camp with him. They have the same trainer. For him to say that there has to be some sort of truth behind it.
Of course. Canelo not going to be lying on Ryan. What do you get out of lying on Ryan? Ryan just got to get in there and get focused. He got a lot of natural God-gifted talent. He got to just apply his hard work and dedication, and he can do good. You can't sleep on Ryan. One thing I can say, I'm not. You can't rock me to sleep and think that Ryan still can't do damage in the sport. I definitely would never sleep on him. I hope that he heals up and comes back to the sport, and hopefully we make a super fight one day.
You expect the Teofimo shook on fighting you next after Cambosa. You think they're gonna keep their word?
Who knows? I don't know. He shook my dad's hand, he shook Eddie's hand, but at the end of the day, he didn't want to shake my hand when I said let's shake on it and make the fight happen. But he's not a real man. At the end of the day, we could talk and say all this back and forth. But at the end of the day, when it came time to shake my hand like a real man, he didn't want to shake my hand. So, but we'll see.
Devin, do you expect JoJo to try to bring the pressure, shorter guy?
I hope so.
Why do you hope so?
I hope so.
Why do you hope so, Dev?
Oh man, because you're gonna get hit with some hellacious shit.
Does the fight end in a KO, Devin?
You're gonna get hit with some hellacious shit.
Devin, what do you think about Crawford versus Porter? It's another highlight.
I think that's a good fight. I like Crawford. I like Porter. I like both of them guys. I think styles make fights. Porter could go in there and easily give Crawford, problems because of his style. But I just think Crawford is a beast right now, and I see him being victorious. But Sean Porter, you can't sleep on him.
Devin.
What's the possible Tank versus Pitbull Cruz?
He gave us the.
So Tank, he got to beat who they put in front of him at the end of the day. Whatever happened with Rolly wasn't, like I said, I wouldn't kick a man while he's down, but, we all know what it is. So he go in there and beat Isaac Cruz, and, hopefully he look good doing it.
Obviously, you have a good relationship with Shakur Stevenson, but now, especially after his performance with Jamel Herring, even though he is a 130-pound champion, he's being mentioned, obviously, with those young names yourself, the Ryan, the Tio. What do you think, not just his performance, but moving forward, potential showdown down the line?
Of course, me and Shakur know that eventually, down the line, we're going to meet up, at the top, and, I'm going to support him up to that point. Me and Shakur, we've been friends since as long as I can remember, as long as I've been boxing, as long as we both been boxing. So, hopefully, he keeps doing good. I'm rooting for him. I want to see him win. Him and Jay are family to us. So, hopefully, when it's all said and done, when we down the line, we meet up and we make a super fight.
Now, Gary Russell fought JoJo Diaz, and I know that Gary wanted to fight you and all that. Is it important to make a statement
He wanted to fight me? Are you sure about that? Because when it came down to it, he didn't want to fight me.
Why is that? What was the whole reason?
I don't know. You tell me. Shit, I don't know why they don't be wanting to fight me. You know what I'm saying?
It was a fun saga.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. I respect Gary. I like Gary. Of course I wanted to make a fight happen, but other than that, he went in there, he beat the shit out of JoJo.
Are you gonna do better? And is that the goal? To do better than
styles make fights at the end of the day. I'm not trying to outdo nobody. I'm trying to go in there and win and look my best doing it. Gary beat him his way. I'm gonna beat him my way.
And Dev, you mentioned Shakur, or they mentioned Shakur a minute ago. Both considered great technical boxers. Mm-hmm. What would you say are some differences between you guys, though?
I don't know. Really, I can't really say. I haven't really, I haven't been knowing Shakur, for say what's the difference. He got his style. He got the Shakur the style. I got the Devin style.
And just back to just Crawford and Porter for a sec, because I know you used to spar with Sean as a teenager. Mm-hmm. Anything underrated that people watching on the screen?
His work rate. He has a great work rate. That's where a lot of people. But I feel like a lot of people know that at this point now that he's gonna come in there and he's gonna try to outwork you.
Let me ask you this, Devin. Obviously speaking on Crawford as well as Porter, it's been really difficult in the welterweight division to try to get big fights to happen. Now you got a lot of these young up and comers, number one ranked contenders, Virgil Ortiz, Jerome Boones, and it's guys that came up in the amateur system along with yourself. Yeah. What do you feel as far as the landscape of boxing that it's going to take for those fights to happen?
It's the new era. The new guys is coming over and we taking over. At the end of the day, the old guys are going out and the new guys is coming in, and it may take a little bit for everybody to meet up, but with all these young guys, we're gonna end up meeting up and we're gonna all fight.
What do you think about Jerome Boones and his performance the other week?
I think he did good. I didn't catch the actual fight because somebody was fighting at the same time. Who was fighting? I think Josue was fighting, right?
Yeah.
I actually was watching Josue, so I didn't get a chance to catch Boots' fight, but I saw the knockout. He looked sharp. He beating with a young guy like me. I feel like when it's the younger guys is taking over my division now. But when it was the older guys, I felt like I could beat them. When in a few years ago, so
like Robert Easter and things like that.
Yeah, like Robert Easter when Linares was on top, when Mikey Garcia was at 135. So I wouldn't doubt it.
Devin, obviously your fight with JoJo was only announced a month out, but I know you were up at Snack, you've been training. Is there any concern on your end as far as lack of camp?
I actually been in the gym. I wasn't trying to post them because I didn't want to get scared, and I didn't want nobody to not sign no contracts and nothing like that. So I've been trying to keep it on the low as much as possible.
Is that why you kind of deleted a lot of stuff on social media? You kind of went ghost for a while?
Nah, I just was going through a phase where I just was like, man, I'm about to delete all this shit. I'm finna start over. Sure. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks,
you got a couple minutes?
Like to compare to the goal was,
Actually, Thursday. Literally that Thursday.
Todd.
Why did it take so long to get this fight made?
Just a little minor like fix-ups. We were trying to not get the rematch clause because at the end of the day, I was a mandatory for the WBC, and I was trying to make that not get into the contract because if I'm mandatory, why should you have a rematch clause? But at the end of the day, it's a Eddie Hearn show. It's a matchroom show. We'll just let them do the talking. I'll beat them twice. It ain't no big deal.
JoJo, Devin's 22, 23 years old. He's talking like, an undefeated prospect at that age talks. You've been that age. The confidence is higher. But why are you the best prospect, the best opponent he's fought? What makes you the best opponent he's fought?
I'm the best opponent he's fought, probably because I fought top tier contenders, man. I fought Gary Russell Jr. I fought Tevin Farmer. I fought Javier Fortuna. I fought Jesus Rojas. I fought Rene Alvarado. I fought Andrew Cancio. I fought all these guys already, man, where I'm already at my physical prime, physically and mentally. And I'm ready to go out there and shut this boy up, man. This kid is 23 years old. I know how it feels to be 23 with a lot of testosterone, thinking you're the shit, but he hasn't done anything. He hasn't accomplished anything, man. He's the only toughest fight that he's fought was a Jorge Linares, a guy that is 36 years old, a guy that is already going out in his career. And right now, I feel like I'm at my prime, so it's gonna be a whole different story come fight night.
Visualizing the fight, okay, you gotta take him to places he's never been before. At what point do you feel like when you're in the fight, you're gonna be looking at him knowing you've taken him to that place that other fighters have not taken him? And do you think you'll be able to take him there right away, or is there gonna come a point in the fight where you're gonna realize now you're the place where I've been and you've never been?
Fourth, fifth round. After that, I feel like he's gonna be like, oh shit, like he's gonna be to the point where he's gonna try to get his second win already. And he's gonna try to get that second win and that second endurance, and I'm just gonna take it to him. I'm gonna take his heart and I'm gonna take his will. I'm just gonna break him down both physically and mentally. That's what I'm planning on doing. I've been training my ass off. I've been busting my ass. I feel physically and mentally strong at this weight. My body, my endurance, everything's good. My speed's good. So I already know that he's just gonna try to keep me out on the outside. That's all he has. If he's gonna try to bang with me, man, that's a whole different story. He's just gonna get his ass whooped early on in the fight.
Is there a chip on your shoulder because of all the Teofimo talk? I was just over there. Most of the questions are about Teofimo Lopez. You coming in with a chip on your shoulder? Do you even know that most of the questions he's being asked are about Teofimo Lopez?
Nah, man. Like I said, I really don't even care what they're talking about because like I said, man, I've been manifesting this moment in my life since I was 13 years old, fighting a main event here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas for the WBC World title, man. This is the moment that I've been dreaming about my whole entire life, so I'm not thinking about anything else right now. This is my main focus and this is my main goal and my main objective, so I've been busting day in and day out to be the best that I possibly can be December 4th. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's young because he don't realize that. He don't realize that he's thinking 3 steps ahead already. He's thinking about the future where instead he should be thinking about the now because I'm a different dog in there and I'm gonna bring it out in him.
JoJo, we've seen the top guys in this division right now, the Ryan Garcias, the Teofimo Lopez's, the Devin Haneys. They ain't fighting each other. You come December 4th, you get that win. We've already seen that Ryan Garcia fight was made, obviously got the injury. Are you ready to just get these fights made with the Teofimos and all that sort of stuff?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't even want to deal with Ryan Garcia anymore, man. Ryan Garcia's a bitch, and he's always going to be a bitch. He's always going to be either, be pulling out or faking an injury or doing some shit where he's not going to want to fight top-tier opponents. I feel like Ryan Garcia is just based off of his social media, and he's making a lot of money outside of the ring where he don't want to, jeopardize him losing inside the ring because it will fall back and, cause a lot of ruckus inside his, inside his personal life with all the income that he's making right now. So I don't think that Ryan Garcia is ever going to want to fight a top-tier opponent. I think he wants to fight guys that he knows that he's going to knock out. So after I beat Devin Haney, man, if Teofimo Lopez want to fight, if anybody wants to fight, I'm willing to fight. Gervonta Davis, that's the guy that I want to fight next. After this fight, I want to fight Gervonta Davis because I feel like it will be a fan-friendly fight because I'm the type of guy that wants to bang on the inside and wants to give the fight fans what they want to see, and so is Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is not like Devin Haney that's wanting to box around, run on his bicycle and just try to win and look cute. Gervonta Davis is going to try to knock you out and hurt you, and that's the type of fighter that I am as well. So it'll be an exciting fight for the fight.
What is the most dangerous thing about fighting Devin Haney?
crazy?
Just his jab. I would say just his jab. Just trying to keep out on his range and trying to look cute and not get hit. But like I said, man, I've already been there with multiple guys that try to use that jab, that try to utilize that jab, try to fly like Floyd Mayweather, try to use the uppercut and roll, try to use the right hand and roll. It's just all basically the same stuff, man. So it's nothing that I never seen before. So when I go in there, I'm just gonna go out there and just adjust and just be the best person that I possibly can.
You talk about Brian Garcia insinuating he maybe doesn't want to be a fighter or he wants to do other things. Do you think there was a point in the Luke Campbell fight where it changed his mind about that? Was that a level that maybe he hadn't seen before and made him have second thoughts?
Exactly, man. Because Luke Campbell can't hurt a fly, and he was able to knock down Ryan Garcia and actually hurt him. And I thought that Luke Campbell had the experience to actually go out there and just end him, because Ryan Garcia was hurt, and there was still like 2 minutes into that round still left in that round where he could have knocked him out, because Ryan Garcia, his legs were gone, he was mentally gone, he could have literally got stopped. But I felt like Luke Campbell didn't have that dog in him where he could have just went for the kill. He wanted to go out there and just be the amateur fighter that he once was, where he wanted to keep fighting, technical and keeping out on the range and using that jab and stuff like that. Where instead, if he would have just, changed his game plan for that, just like 30 seconds, man, that 30 seconds, he would have got him out of there. He could have been done.
What's this Vada situation that Devin talks about, saying that you're not enrolled or things that might be in jeopardy?
Oh, and like I said, man, we just got the fight finalized on Thursday. I literally just got the call that I had to come here to Las Vegas on Thursday, so I just literally drove down here. And now I'm just here right now doing the press conference. After this, I'm just going to go back home and I'm going to do all the VADA testing. If they want to test me right now, they could come test me. I really don't give a fuck, because like I said, I'm a clean fighter and I've been doing this for years. So it's not like I'm trying to cheat or anything like that, man. Like, he's just trying to make noise and trying to, start some shit.
Is there bad blood between you and Dave? We've seen the social media and the back and forth and stuff like that. Is there going to be bad blood in this fight?
I know I'm gonna bring out the bad blood in me. I know I'm gonna bring out the dog in me, because I know how important this is, how important this fight is in my life and in my career, and how much I need this victory for not only myself but for my family, for my son. And I'm just gonna go out there and just be the best I possibly can be, and just go out there and just take it to him.
What's your thoughts on the Norris fight? I didn't know if you answered it earlier, but seeing that Devin got rocked in the later rounds, what was your opinion about the fight and all that?
It was a good fight. I mean, I thought Devin Haney was outboxing him, and I thought that he was doing a good job, defensively utilizing his jab, jabbing up on top. But Jorge Linares, like I said, man, he's 36 years old, so he didn't have that conditioning, he didn't have that, it factor anymore, where he could have just took it to him and just overwhelmed him with punches, kind of like a Madonna, kind of like a person that's just going to hit him everywhere. He wasn't doing that. He was still being a little cautious and still being a little wary, where I feel like if he would have just been a little more aggressive, he would have got Devin Haney out of there.
What happens if you punched him like that?
You'll see come December 4th, man.
Is Haney a better fighter than Garcia? Do you think Haney's a better fighter than Garcia?
They're both different fighters, man. Haney's a better fighter as far as defensive. Yeah, he's a better fighter as far as defensive, but I would say as far as a power fighter, or as far as an offensive fighter, I think Ryan Garcia has it.
How do you see Saturday night, tomorrow night's main event going?
It's a tough fight, man. And I mean, I'm going with my heart, and I'm going with my brother Caleb Plant, because I grew up with him and we trained together in Colorado Springs. We went to the Olympic trials together. We went to the Olympics together. So I'm actually rooting for him, man, because I know how much he's been wanting this, because we've been talking about this since, man, we were young. So just for him to have this opportunity, have this such a big fight, is such a blessing for himself. And I'm just happy that he's actually doing this right now. And I'm hoping for the best. I hope he pulls it off.
If he wins, how do you see him getting it done?
Outboxing him. Just outboxing him and outthinking Canelo. Making Canelo frustrated. Kind of like how Canelo was a little frustrated with Lara. I think that's how he beats Canelo.
Are you surprised at all how far he's gotten from when you watched him in the amateurs, or did you feel like this guy will get there?
No, I already knew Caleb Plant was special. Caleb Plant has always been special, sparring these guys in Colorado Springs and being very defensive and elusive. He's a very defensive fighter, but that's why he was always losing in the amateurs, because he was too defensive, where he was not being offensive enough to get those points to win the fights. So I think now that he's more defensive, and now he has more pop, and now he has more, experience, it's all being beneficial for him.
And lastly, JoJo, I know, like you just said, you would love to fight Tank, because that toe-to-toe style, it might produce How do you think he does with Esau Cruz? Is that a tough fight, or is he run right through him?
It's a tough fight because Esau Cruz, he has nothing to lose, and he's a tough, strong fighter too, man. That dude is strong, and he knocks dudes out. But like he sleeps dudes, man. So like, Gervonta Davis got to be just cautious and got to be wary, and just got to make sure that he just don't like try to like go in there and try to knock him out. At first, I feel like he has to box him and break him down, and then eventually, like in the 7th, 8th round, that's when he goes for the kill.
Because toe-to-toe would give him his best shot, right?
Oh yeah. Because if Isaac Cruz and Gervonta Davis tries to go with Isaac Cruz in the first round, tries to go toe-to-toe, man, if he gets caught, he's gonna go to sleep too, man. Just like all these other guys, bro. Gervonta Davis is human, so he's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get rocked too. It's not like he's not human, so he just got to be cautious and got to be wary. And I know that he is. He's a very, very smart defensive fighter, and he's a strong, powerful fighter. So I know that he's gonna go out there and just capitalize and adjust.
Hey JoJo, back to your fight just really quick. You mentioned some of the top fighters that aren't fighting each other. So literally with 1 month out from your fight and Devin, what does that say about you just taking the fight?
It just said that I got a lot of balls, man. I got a lot of balls, and I actually back it up. I'm the type of person that I just don't talk. I'm the type of person where if I say something on Twitter, if I say or if I promise that I'm gonna fight somebody, I'm actually literally doing that and doing the most to actually make the fights happen. I'm not the type of fighter that is just Twitter talking and shit like that, and just when I get the contract, I'm like, oh no, I don't want to fight them. No, I'm like, no, I'm gonna Twitter talk. Yo, Golden Boy, MTK, set that shit up, man. Let's fight. I want to fight them, and they go and do the work.
JoJo, in a way, you're kind of like the OG to all these guys, right?
Yeah, exactly, dude.
How can that experience help you maybe get through all these guys?
I just, like I said, man, I feel like my experience is going to be very, very beneficial for this fight, as far as getting them hurt, just dealing with adversity, with everything. I feel like Devin Haney hasn't had that experience yet, and I feel like he's fought a lot of guys in sparring, and he's faced a lot of guys as a pro, but nobody like me, and nobody like me when we're fighting 8-ounce gloves, fighting under the bright lights with 30,000 people watching and live on the zone. He's never been in that type of atmosphere yet, especially when I'm at my prime. So I'm just excited for December 4th.
Your relentlessness is the thing that's really improved, I think, over the course of the last 5-6 fights. What is it about that you've really tried to develop? Is that the thing that you've most developed?
Yeah, I think my relentlessness is the most thing that I developed was because of the Gary Russell fight. Once I fought and lost to Gary Russell, I knew that I did a lot of things, but I knew that I could have did more, and I knew that I could have took a lot more chances due to the circumstances and due to it being such a big event and being such a meaningful fight for myself and for my career. And now that I know that I got to take a lot of chances in there, and I know that it's the opportunity right then and there where if I don't take no chances, then I'm just gonna miss out. So I have that now.
All those fights at Fantasy Springs, all the dues that you've paid, now you're at MGM Grand. What's that mean to you?
Oh man, it means a lot. It means that I don't have to go out and eat those chili cheese dogs and stuff after the fights at the Fantasy Springs, man. I'm just extremely blessed, and I'm very, very thankful that I'm actually living the dream that I've always prayed for ever since I was 13 years old. Fighting at the MGM, fighting a main event for a world title, especially the WBC, the green belt, man. Like, it's just a dream come true. That's why I'm just embracing it and just taking advantage of this moment and making sure that I'm doing everything possible to be the best I possibly can be, physically and mentally, for fighting.
JoJo, are you more happy that it turned out to be Devin Haney than Ryan Garcia?
At the end of the day, like I really don't care. I just wanted to fight, and I didn't think that the Devin Haney fight was going to be situated. I thought that the Ryan fight was going to be made faster and quicker due to us being with Golden Boy Promotions. So I thought that that fight was going to be able to be making faster, and it was, man. Everything was going up just as planned. But unfortunately, Ryan Garcia ended up pulling out. I don't know if he really has a hand injury, but if he does, I wish him nothing but the best, and I wish him nothing but a speedy recovery. But with Devin Haney, now that we got the Devin Haney fight, a lot of people were saying that I was trying to duck him. Nah, like once the Ryan Garcia fight ended up pulling out, I ended up calling Golden Boy Promotions, calling NTK and telling them like, yo, give me Devin Haney then. I want Devin Haney next. And then we just started pushing, we started working. We had to, go back and forth with the agreements and stuff like that, because there's a lot of things that have to go, based on our lawyers and stuff with the agreements, just to make sure that I'm secure and I'm okay too. So once we got everything finalized,
we finally signed the deal, and I'm just very excited that the fight has actually been made and we can actually get it going now.
Yeah,
JoJo, those Fantasy Springs fights weren't that bad, right?
They weren't that bad at all, Rusky. How you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
How you been? Good?
Man,
Oh,
good,
damn,
good.
I'm eating your hair right now.
No, huh?
I'm
No,
eating your
I
hair.
know, right? I'm not used to it. This is what happens with the Diaz's collide. You know, everybody.
Busy day today.
Right till my stands and stuff. Yeah. No worries. Okay. No, you're fine. You're fine. You had 2 phones, right? Yeah.
He said he might be white.
Everything's looking kind of good, you know. JoJo kind of came late, so I stayed, and me and Sean moved back and forth, so it just kind of
Is it? Go back there. All Star Church. All Star. It's too early. It's too early.
Not trying your chair.
No, that lighting.
It's actually one of the best I've ever seen.
Thank you, man.
Nah, I'm taking up. Sorry, no, I'm not moving.
Sounds live. Seconds. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, good morning everybody from Las Vegas here at the Venetian Hotel, and what a press conference we have here, what a fight we have here. December 4th, MGM Grand, live on the zone. Devin Haney will defend his WBC World Lightweight Championship against the former two-weight world champion looking to become a three-weight world champion, JoJo Diaz. It marks an incredible run live on the zone, 10 events in the next 7 weeks in 6 different countries, of course. Next week we have a big double-header with Kid Galahad in Sheffield with Terry Harper, Chris Billum-Smith, and then we pass over to Golden Boy for Munguia against Rosado. Then we have a World Championship quadruple header with Demetrius Andrade, Julio Cesar Martinez, Akhmat Aliyev, and Kaylee Reese against Kumara. Then, of course, at Madison Square Garden, Teofimo Lopez against George Kambosos, followed by, in Las Vegas, Haney against Diaz, Conor Benn, Katie Taylor on the 11th, Chisora and a huge card in Manchester. It's an incredible year, incredible end to a great year live on the zone. We're here today to talk about this tremendous fight. I thought we wouldn't get there. Plenty of talk on social media, and I'm so delighted that these two fighters have put pen to paper for an incredible fight here in Las Vegas. General sale has just begun. We did over 3,000 just on pre-sale yesterday, expecting a full-up MGM Grand for a great fight on December 4th. We're going to talk to both teams and fighters, of course, and Robert Diaz, thank you so much for helping to get this deal over the line with Golden Boy. Lots of backwards and forwards, of course. Unfortunately for Ryan Garcia, pulling out the original fight with JoJo Diaz, it was a blessing for us that this fight could take place, and I know you and the team are very confident that your man can be victorious and become a three-weight world champion on December 4th.
Absolutely. Thank you, Eddie. Thanks for having us here today. But this just shows, this is proof right here, that when the fighters want to fight, and it's not just talk, fights can get done. Promoters are willing to work together, fights can get done. With JoJo Diaz, this is not anything new. You guys know how he's come up. His whole career has been tough, but his whole career he's been raising his hand. I will fight anybody. Here's proof. We're here today to announce this great fight, but it takes two. Here's a young man with a lot of talent who's willing to step in the ring with anybody. Come December 4th, it is a real fight. It's an even fight. Devin reminds me a lot of a fighter from the past, Prince Nassim Hamed, a flashy, badass fighter. But JoJo reminds me a lot of a little Mexican fighter named Marco Antonio Barrera. And what did he do at the MGM Grand? Well, you will see December 4th. Thank you.
Robert, you were a big part of the Linares team, obviously last time out in May, a tremendous fight with Devin Haney. His first real step up in that fight as well, but expect a different kind of challenge from JoJo Diaz. I know he's been quite vocal that he felt Linares was at the back end of his career, and said that he beat an old man that night. We saw a motivated Linares, but a whole different challenge in JoJo Diaz.
Absolutely, Eddie. Jorge Linares, we all know, put on a great performance. Devin, congratulations. You did surprise me because you showed a lot of experience in the fight. Even though you hadn't been in that type of fight, you needed that type of fight to get you to another level. The difference between Linares and JoJo is about 10 years difference. I mean, there's a big age difference and activity. JoJo's been active where Jorge wasn't. So JoJo, come round one, we'll get started round one, not in round 8.
Thank you, Robert Bill. Welcome as partners with Devin Haney Promotions. Literally, every time I asked you about an opponent, and there was probably 4 or 5 options for this day, yes is always the answer. You guys really are ready to step up and fight anyone in the division. I know you're particularly happy to see this challenge for Devin. Back in Las Vegas, we had a great crowd for Haney against Linares last time. I think we'll fill up the MGM this time, and right fight, right time for Devin Haney.
Absolutely. First of all, I want to thank Tazone, Golden Boy, Matchroom, and everyone that had the patience to make this fight happen. I believe that this fight, not only for Devin, is the right fight, it's the right next fight, but it's the right next fight for JoJo. Me and JoJo got a chance to talk, and JoJo is a man of his word. I think that things got a little bit shaky, we got a little bit worried, but all in all, the fight is happening. As far as Mr. Diaz, he's a great man. He's saying different suit, same thing that he said with Jorge Linares. You know what I mean? He came and said that they were going to do the same thing that he's saying with JoJo. The experience, I think we have to count Devin for all the experience that he did get in that fight against Jorge Linares. Tremendous fighter. Come December 4th, now we have JoJo Diaz. Just another step in the legacy of one of the best fighters in the world, in Devin Haney.
This fight probably took maybe a week or 2 longer to make than we hoped. We saw the stuff back and forth on social media, and then it died down a little bit, and then we got it made. Only 4 weeks this Saturday, this fight. Are you confident of Devin's preparation? Well, obviously, he knew that he was always fighting in December as well, but sometimes difficult for a fighter to get dialed in without that opponent confirmed. But happy with his preparation and believe he's going to make a big statement at the MGM Grand on December 4th.
Well, ironically, Devin is the champion, but in this particular case, he's the one that's hunting. He's been hunting for JoJo Diaz. We were under the assumption that JoJo, when he fought against Javier Fortuna, that he was going to beat Devin's mandatory. So we've been preparing for him. We're not underprepared by any scope. 4 weeks, we've been preparing for, since he was to become the mandatory. So we're ready for JoJo Diaz, and we hope that he's ready as well, because Devin is going to come. You saw round 1, he was ready for Jorge Linares. We expect JoJo to come round 1, because Devin is going to be there from round 1 to round 12. And I don't think that it's going to go there. I think that he's going to stop JoJo and go on out of the performance.
JoJo, welcome, and thank you so much for taking this opportunity. You said you'd take it when the Ryan Garcia fight fell through. You said you'd sign. You did sign. Opportunity for you December 4th live on the zone to become a 3-weight world champion. Massive opportunity. You ready to take this chance?
Oh, absolutely, man. First off, I want to thank God for giving me this opportunity to actually live the dream that I've been dreaming about ever since I was 13, man. To be fighting the main event here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand, especially for a world title, WBC green belt. I've been dreaming about this moment ever since I was a little kid, man. And for me to actually be living in this present and living in this moment, I'm just very thankful. So I want to give a shout out to God for that. I want to thank Golden Boy, MTK, my advisors, Eddie Hearn, DAZN, Devin Haney for actually accepting the fight as well and making this shit happen. This is going to be a tremendous night of an action-packed fight. I know that Devin Haney is a really, really skilled, elusive fighter, but I'm a dog, and I'm the type of person that has already been in there and dealt with the experience and dealt with that adversity, where I know where it is to be killed or you get killed. And I'm just going to go out there and just do what I got to do to become victorious, no matter what it takes. If he wants to, try to box, I'm just going to hunt his ass down. If he wants to come and bang, then I'm just going to bang it out as well. Whatever he wants to bring to the table, I'm going to bring it.
I heard you in an interview over there saying that you're not Jorge Linares. That was an older fighter. You're a fresh fighter that's in his prime as well. Is that what it's all about against Devin Haney, taking him into deep waters? There seems to be, because he hasn't been in those kind of fights yet, the doubt of whether he can swim in those waters. Is that your intention, to make it very uncomfortable for him on that night and to rip that belt off his waist?
Yeah, absolutely, but it's not just that. It's just I feel like I'm at my prime. I feel like I've already took all the steps that I needed to take to be at this point in my life and in my career. As far as taking fights with Andrew Cancio, Rene Alvarado, Jesus Rojas, Tevin Farmer, Gary Russell Jr., Javier Fortuna. I already fought those top tier contenders. I feel like Devin Haney, he's a young fighter and he's a hungry fighter, and he has a lot of experience and he has a lot of ego to him where he wants to go out and put on tough challenges, but I just feel like he doesn't have the experience that I have, and I feel like that's going to be the key factor to my victory come December 4th.
Do you feel like he has the toughness?
We'll see.
Devin, welcome. I know, like I said to your dad, absolutely all comers were welcome in December. You two have been goading each other on social media. Finally, you got the deal done. I know you respect JoJo Diaz as a fighter, but you feel this is the perfect fight at the perfect time for you to showcase to the world that you are the best lightweight on the planet.
Yeah, first off, I want to thank God, thank my dad, her, Metro, the Zone, my whole team. I've been preparing for this fight for a while now. I'm so thankful that the fight finally came, and I just can't wait to show JoJo Diaz that he can be a dog, but at the end of the day, skills pay the bills, and if that's his only approach to that, he's going to dog me. Come on, I've been seeing that my whole career. So if that's your plan A, and you feel like that I'm just going to let you dog me, and that's how you're going to stop me, it's going to be a long night.
There seems to be still doubt from the players in the division about how good and how tough you are. You showed against Linares tremendous skill. You come through slight adversity in that fight as well. Does it get you back up that you feel like you have to prove to these people? Tio's been outspoken. He thinks that there's question marks over you. I know JoJo's been outspoken as well. But these fights are the fights that you need to showcase that. Linares was the first step of that, and I feel like this is the perfect fight for you to show the world.
At the end of the day, I don't feel like it's really any doubt with these guys with me, because at the end of the day, none of them are in a rush to fight me. JoJo Diaz wasn't in a rush to fight me. I feel like we had to corner him to make him take the fight, and all these other guys the same thing. They know my skill set. They know how much I bring to the table. And if JoJo didn't take this fight, the world would have known what it really was. And come December 4th, they're gonna see.
A lot of people talking about Devin Haney against Teofimo, obviously back-to-back on the zone as well, but there's always the chance of overlooking a great fighter like JoJo Diaz. That's not going to happen with you on December 4th. You're fully focused on this opportunity. Of course, everyone's talking about these super fights in the division, but I guess we all feel this is a super fight in the division.
Of course, I can't overlook JoJo Diaz. I know that he's going to come to fight. I mean, he's telling us that he's coming in there to try to dog me out. And I don't want to make it through this press conference without telling him, thank you for taking the fight. Thank you for stepping up, because most of these guys wouldn't step up. So I appreciate that. And I just can't wait. This is going to be a great fight. JoJo Diaz is a dog. He's shown that. He's proven. I do feel like he is in the prime of his career. So it won't take nothing away from my victory when I win.
We know he's aggressive. We know he's a dog, as you say, but you feel like that will suit you down to the ground. And Bill talks about he believes you end this fight inside the distance. Is that a statement that you want to make on December 4th?
At the end of the day, skills pay the bills. I've been seeing guys come at me and try to do everything they can to win for forever now. I've always been a slick boxer, always had skills, so I done seen it, over and over, time and time again. So I do feel like his style will be, tailor-made for me. There's nothing that he can do to win. He can't outbox me. I will show him that he can't outbang me. I have the size advantage. I have everything, all the tools to win, which I am not doubting him. I know that he's going to come in there and try to do everything that he can to win, but I just feel like if there's nothing that he can't do.
JoJo, is that the only way to win, to outdog this guy? I mean, he's very, very skillful. Is Is that a bad idea for you to go in there and try and outbox this young man?
Well, when I say outdog, it's not just, just throwing punches and stuff like that. I got all the skills and I got all the resume in the back of my mind too, and in the back of my career. I mean, I'm a 2012 Olympian. I've fought all these tough fighters already, so it's not that I'm just the type of fighter that's just gonna bang it out. I'm not just gonna throw punches, just throw punches.
You say
I'm gonna break your ass down.
Okay, when you say experience,
I'm gonna break your ass down, bro. I'm gonna eat your ass up. So just be ready, bro. Just be ready. Just be ready.
No, I really want to ask you a real question. When you say experience, who have you fought like me that has a style similar to me?
Who have you fought that's like me?
I'm not saying experience. You're the one saying experience. I told you, on paper, you're my toughest test, but you said that you have more experience than me. Who have you fought like Devin Haney?
I'm not talking about that, bro. I'm talking about
all right.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about everything that I've been through, as far as being hurt, as far as being cut. Bro, I'm gonna take you to places that you've never been. I'm gonna make you feel some shit. I'm gonna cut you on this. Bro, I'm telling you, you better hope that you got a good referee. You better hope that you got a good referee, because
don't make excuses. Don't make excuses now. Don't make excuses now.
I'm not making no excuses. I'm coming ready.
Listen,
I'm coming ready.
I'm not worried about no referees. I'm not worried about the judges. It's me and you there. You sound good.
December 4th, you don't want to miss it on the zone at the MGM.
Jojo, final words from both of you. Obviously, I remember when you beat Tevin Farmer. That was on our show. That was a rough loss for us. You came back, you missed weight. I think you lost a little bit of focus, but right now you seem to be in the absolute prime, physically and mentally. This is really to go down as, I guess you're already a great as a two-weight world champion, but this is to go down as a true great of the sport, as a three-weight world champion. This is also to go down and talk about other massive fights in the division, Gervonta, Ryan, a massive life-changing opportunity for you. You're ready to do whatever it takes to beat Devin Haney.
Exactly, and I know that Devin Haney is a very skilled fighter, and I know it's going to be a tough fight. I know it's going to be a tough fight, and I know we're going to bring it out. He's going to bring out the best in me, and I'm going to bring out the best in him. But then at the end of the day, I know what I'm about, and I know that there's a lot at stake for myself. And I've been through everything. I've been through all the ups and downs. I've been through all the trials and tribulations in my life and in my career. And now that I got my son and my family, my little baby boy, man, that just brings me that extra motivation to just go out there and just risk it all inside that ring. So I'm just gonna fuck him up.
I don't care what you've been through. Skills,
bro, you ain't got no skills. You got skill, bro. You got skill. I'm gonna fuck you up. I got skill too, though. I got skill too, though.
It don't matter what you've been through, but what that don't matter in the ring.
We'll see about the
Listen,
we'll see. We'll see.
Skills.
Just keep that jab up, right?
Skills.
Keep that jab up.
Keep your game plan out, man. Keep your game plan out. Listen, don't let me get you worked up.
Keep that jab up.
Keep that inside. You see your team, keep that with y'all. Listen, I don't want to hear no excuses. Listen, you'll see.
Dev, do you think you'll have to show dog on December 4th yourself?
Skills pay the bills, and I'm going to show that.
Just skills? You don't think you need more than that?
Skills pay the bills, and I'm going to show that.
Well, Devin Haney, JoJo Diaz, December 4th, MGM Grand, live on the zone. A tremendous fight night. Make sure you tune in or join us live in the arena. I believe this place is going to be completely sold out for a tremendous World Lightweight Championship as part of an unbelievable run-in to close the year live on the zone. Gentlemen, we'll have a head-to-head up there, please. Where's the front back?
Right here, in center, front.
Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Beat you up. No Diaz. No Diaz. No Diaz. No zero. Let's go, Diaz. No Diaz. You see it in his eyes. No Diaz. You see it in his eyes. I'm mad now. Don't let you get ahead.
Yes, sir. Hey, don't get mad at the ring either. That's what you're
And still,
Because he gets Sakiaki, it's going to be annihilation, demonstration, and Lord Devin Haney going to be the ultimate orchestrator. Top choice Rolls Royce. See y'all on the floor. Free.
How was the word before that though? How was the word
Start giving away the game plan.
Did it sound like he was giving away the game plan a little bit? Did it sound like it? It sounded like it a little bit. But I don't know. We just got to see December 4th. He gonna bring his best. I'm gonna bring my best. He gonna come ready. I'm gonna come ready, and may the best man win.
Is that actually a sign of confidence from him though? Like, I'll just tell you what I'm gonna do. Come stop it.
No, he was uncomfortable. He was a little uncomfortable, so he got to rambling. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, he can say, oh, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna come and go in there and do something different. I can't, base the fight off that. At the end of the day, he's gonna come in there, he's gonna give it his all. I'm gonna give him my all, and the best man gonna win. That's gonna be me.
But you never seem to give away the game plan. Some fighters do, but why not? Why not you, Devin?
Why would I do that for him?
Hey, Devin, you feel like the fight with Linares gives you the experience to beat a guy like JoJo?
I feel like I could have beat him before the Linares fight. I'm not going to say, well, now I beat Linares, now I can beat him. I feel like I'm just a better fighter overall than him, and it will show December 4th.
Do you feel like the length is going to play a big role in this fight for you?
Everything. But at the end of the day, skills pay the bills. You can talk about size, you can talk about what you've been through, where you come from. At the end of the day, skills pay the bills, and that's all I'm worried about. I didn't beat up bigger guys, I didn't beat up smaller guys. So I'm not going to say, oh, well, I'm bigger than you, so I can beat you. Man, that shit don't work.
It looked like you did stump him when you asked him, who have you fought, similar to yourself. But, he's seen some speed before with Gary Russell. Do you think your speed is different than that?
He lost. Did he lose?
Yes.
Hey, Devin, Eddie said yesterday he sees you fighting Teofimo next year. You want that?
Is that a new nickname, the man?
Aunque pensé que iba a estar, ayer García no se debe esa pelea, pero se dio esta, entonces estamos preparados y vamos a llegar al 100.
Muy bien, ¿qué opina de su oponente que habla mucho, está hablando mucho?
What is your opinion on opponent Devin Haney? He seems to be talking a lot.
He can talk all he wants. I feel like he's young and inexperienced. But at the end of the day, he's always saying that skills are going to pay the bills. But it's not just skills when it comes to the sport of boxing. It takes a lot of will, it takes a lot of nutrients and everything. And having the dog in you as well, and I feel like he don't have it.
Mira, está hablando porque es joven, le falta un poco de experiencia, puede ser nervios también. Al fin de cuentas, sí tiene mucho talento, tiene mucho en su arsenal, es lo que él habla, pero no es todo lo que tienes que tener para ganar una pelea. Tienes que tener un poco más adentro de eso.
How do you plan on using his youthful exuberance against him?
He's just like I said, man. Look at him. He's getting all hyped up. He has his whole hype team, so he's the one that is actually, getting overwhelmed with this moment. With me, I'm just with a small group of people, talking my shit, doing what I gotta do, but I'm just doing my business, man. And like I said, I just feel like he's just getting too overwhelmed with everything. Where I just feel like he's really getting well prepared because. Like I said, man, I'm already an experienced fighter, and I'm a veteran inside the sport of boxing where I already know where to cover everything inside that ring and cover everything inside the training camp to be the best I possibly can be fighting.
Hey, Rob. I just ask you a couple questions. Is that okay?
JoJo Diaz Jr. full-time fights in the fourth in Las Vegas. JoJo, first off,
You want me? Yeah. Hey, Ron from FightHype.com. I'm here with legendary matchmaker himself, Robert Diaz. How's it going?
I'm good. I'm excited. What better way to kick off the day? Announcing a big fight before the end of the year on DAZN.
Now, obviously, I just want to talk about the fight with you. This is a huge fight, for the fight fans. We got Devin against JoJo Diaz. How excited are you to make this fight and match this up and get this on together?
I'm very excited, but more importantly, I'm excited to show the fans, to show media that when fighters want to fight, they can get done. We're not blocking fights. We want to make the best fights for the fans. Sometimes it's the fighters that
especially in today's era of social media. They'll call each other out, but they won't sign the contract. JoJo's been very characteristic of those throwback fighters of back in the day where I don't care. I just want to fight. I want the biggest fights out there. And he's shown it time and time again.
And seeing the fact that you as his matchmaker, he's just succeeded one after another, tough fight after. How do you know what fights to pick to get JoJo or your other fighters prepared for this?
It comes with experience. It comes with falling down and getting back up. It comes with fights that you thought you were going to make and you were going to win and you don't. But at the end of the day, it's how he was built. I mean, I've had JoJo since his pro debut. That's what gives me the confidence, because in his short career, what he's achieved, how he's shown his heart, his character, and more than anything, his determination to fall and get back up. So I know what he's made of. Devin is a tremendous, skillful fighter, young fighter who has a very bright future, but he hasn't been through the fire yet. Jorge showed a little bit, but Jorge was already, because of his age and inactivity, didn't start from round one. I think with JoJo, you're going to see a fight from round one.
And because you're a tremendous matchmaker,
Thank you.
Matchmade JoJo Ortiz with a very great fight with Mean Machine. It was a tremendous performance. A lot of people rate him highly, not just before that, but especially after that. What's next going to be for Virgil, if you don't mind me asking?
Virgil is somebody that makes my job easy. He makes me look good because he's in the gym. He's so determined, so focused, wants big things, similar to JoJo. They want the big fights. They want the big names. They want fights for the fans. They're not worried about the zero. You know, they know eventually everybody loses, but they want to go down in history as great fighters. Virgil is very close to world title. Ranked number 1 in WBO, ranked number 1 in the WBC. So it's moving along. But we need patience because let's remember, he's still a very young man. I want that same energy where people are saying, hey, he should fight Ennis, he should fight Ennis. They're in their 20s. Let them win world titles and then become unification for a bigger fight. But let's show that same energy and getting pushing Spence and Crawford in their 30s to fight before they hit 40s.
And you mentioned Ennis, and I know the fans are obviously wanting to see that. Like you said, a fight later on when he become a real.
Absolutely. Let's see both of them become world champions. Let's see then a unification a la Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard when they were both world champions. That'll make the fight bigger and more financially better for them too.
Now I have to ask, one of your fighters, Blair Cobbs, came up and he walked up to Boots at his fight, and they did a little back and forth. They've done some sparring and Philly back. Is that a potential fight that Blair and Jerron Ennis is that we can see that?
Like I said, when both fighters want it, absolutely, the fights could get done. I know right now, Blair wants it. Blair's willing to fight anybody and wants to fight the big names as well. That'll show you on our side, that's what I like to see in a fighter. Character, willing to fight, not worried about the zero, willing to give the fight fans the best fights out there. And you know what? Blair's ready to fight anybody.
How do you make a fight that's like cross promotion like that, seeing that, Jerron's with a different, is that fight possible?
That Golden Boy, that's something that prides me, is we've shown with history, not just with talks or words, that we are willing to work with anybody. The other side needs to want to work with us or get the fights done for the fans. If that's easy, a phone call away, we could get contracts signed right away.
And just 2 final questions. I always appreciate your time. Next week we got Munguia fighting Gabe Rosado, a great fight over at the Honda Center, and just kind of want to speak a little about the card that you guys have.
Absolutely, I'm excited about that fight. It's gonna bring out fireworks. It's Mexico against Puerto Rico. Just that and alone has a tradition of historically great fights. I think Gabe Rosado right now is on a very high note after his win and spectacular knockout win over Beck. Has put him in a different mental state where he knows things can happen. He knows now with the experience he has, and now the main focus and motivation that things can happen. It's going to be a tough fight. Munguia keeps getting better and better and better at the hands of Eric Morales. Is learning new things. I don't see the fight going a distance. I see a knockout either way.
And in seeing the fact that he's ranked number 1 in WBO, and your other fighter, James Quigley's fighting Demetrius Andrade, would he face the winner of that after if everything plays out, if Munguia wins? And
Jason Quigley, and imagine Jason Quigley against the winner of Munguia and Rosado. That could be a very good fight, but first Jason needs to go get his win and bring that title back to Ireland. We'll be seeing Jason out in a couple weeks as well. But there's a good point you bring up. working with other promoters. Before the end of the year, we have 4 world title fights between Golden Boy and Matchroom. That shows we can work, and we're willing to work as long as the fights make sense for the fighters and the fans.
And I have to ask, just because you are the legendary matchmaker and
Thank
helped
you.
with Canelo's development over the years, Canelo obviously fighting a tough fight with Caleb Plant. Can I just get your honest opinion about that fight and how that fight plays out?
100%. Canelo is another fighter that every fight out shows improvement. Even though he's hit the top level, he's still improving and improving and improving. Honestly, Caleb Plant brings hunger, brings want, brings will, but I don't see him bringing anything else that Canelo hasn't already seen. There's no better fighter pound for pound today than Canelo Alvarez, and I think Saturday night we'll see another great performance, knockout in 7.
And I know I just said a couple more, just very last question. There's a high chance that Ryan Garcia may face the winner of Devin Haney and JoJo?
Absolutely. First things first, Ryan heals up, back in training, back in the gym, see how his hand feels. But Ryan's ready to fight the big names as well. He wants Tank. He wanted the fight was done with JoJo. Now we'll see December 4th and see who we sit down at the table with, who we're facing next.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
I think Plant's going to make it very difficult with his boxing skills and his movement and his ability to box, outbox and use his jab and stuff. His feet works very good, so I think it's going to be a very tricky fight. I think Canelo might get the points decision, but I wouldn't rule out Caleb Plant, and I wouldn't be causes, which would be an upset if he gets the decision.
How's your knee feeling, John?
It's getting better. It's just, I can't do certain weights in my S&C, certain exercises. I can't run properly at the minute either, so which is a massive part of my training, which is running, how you get the condition, the S&C stuff, which is a massive part of my program as well. I can't do it properly or too fully, so I had to put the fight back, so we're getting a lot of physio and a lot of work on it at the minute, so we'll be ready for February 26th.
Josh, we're right here at the press conference for JoJo Diaz, Devin Haney. Break that fight down for us. It's going to happen December 4th.
I'm not really sure, I think I'll probably edge towards Haney. His slick boxer, slick skills, very clever as well, so I'd probably back Haney on that one.
Now, going back to, Canelo Caleb Plant takes place tomorrow here in Las Vegas. What qualities do you see in Caleb Plant that can probably overdo for Canelo?
I just think his speed, his timing, his feet work. Canelo seems to always have a little bit of problems with people that can move around a little bit, use their feet work to their advantage. He always has a little bit of trouble dealing with that. He always gets the win. He always figures it out and stuff in the end, but he always seems to have a little bit of trouble. But I think Canelo will get the points win in the end, but for the first half of the fight, I think it'll be tricky.
Yesterday, we're at Teofimo's up at his media workout, and he said in the future he'll like to face you. Hopefully, he'll have it, goes up in weight. What do you think about that fight in the future?
Listen, if the fight's there, the fight's there. I'll take it, no problem. They're not running about and saying I'm running from him and scared of him. I'm scared of no one. The guy's a clown. But yeah, if the fight's there and it happens, it happens. We'll see what happens. Anything's possible.
Do you want to wait at one? Would you wait for him at 140, or you're not going to wait too long and then
see what happens? Whatever the biggest fight there is at the time, whatever's happening. Obviously I've got own goals and ambitions myself. I want to move up to 147. I want to become a two-weight world champion. I want to keep putting Scotland on the map, be one of Scotland's ever only champions to be a two-weight undisputed world champion. It's a massive, massive goal in mine. So a massive ambition. So. I've got my own goals and targets that I want to do as well in my career as well, but if that fight's there, I'll take it, no problem.
Is that Terence Crawford and Porter winner? Is that we're eyeing at?
Yeah, of course, I would love to have these fights, Ugases and that as well, Spence's, all these guys are massive, massive fights for me, and fights that I feel I can win and capable of winning. So yeah, I've got goals and ambitions in myself that I want to do at the minute.
Who wins that Crawford and Porter fight? Just curious, just seeing that you're undisputed yourself and one of the top pound for pound.
I think Crawford wins that fight. I think he outmaneuvers Porter, although Porter is a tough night for anyone. He makes it very physical, gets in your face, gets on your chest, and gets low and hits you anywhere. He's very crude, so he'll hit you. If it's there, he'll hit you somewhere. So he's a tough night for anyone. But I think Crawford can
can weather the storm and outbox him and win that fight.
With Tank Davis being your radar also as well, as we see him, they went up to him 40 facing Mario Barrios.
Listen, anything's possible in boxing. I don't avoid anyone or anything. I'll fight anybody. I've proved that. I've proved that already. So I'll fight anybody. So anything's possible in boxing.
What's your take on his team saying that you wouldn't sell out an arena over here versus Tank?
Sorry?
What's your take on Leonard saying that you wouldn't sell over here in the arena?
I can't hear you.
So what is your take on that? They said that you can't sell an arena.
I can sell an arena. The only time I couldn't sell an arena was the last time here, because it was restrictions. It was restricted to 1,000 people in the hall. There was no fans allowed to come over. All the travel restrictions and stuff like that. If everything was open like it usually was 2 years ago, I'd have brought an army over with me. I'd have brought thousands over with me from Scotland and the UK. I'd have brought thousands over with me. So that claim is a lot of old bollocks, that one.
What do you think of Tank's replacement, Isaac? Does seem effective originally?
I don't know who he is. I've never saw him boxing. No doubt it'll be a rollover. I don't know. I don't want to disrespect the opponent or whatever, but I've never heard of him and never saw him box. So.
Devin Haney just said that you would beat Teofimo Lopez. What's your reaction to what he said?
He said what, sorry?
That you would beat Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, of course I would. Yeah, of course I would, yeah.
Are you going to knock him out?
If that fight happens, I would show him who's the real dog at 140 if it happens, So all this talk, he's trying to cash in, so listen, it is what it is, he's playing the game.
Do you think Bob would even set that up, like seeing the fact that, he went over and done kind of some stuff with Triller and overmatched him? Why would he reward Teofimo to face you as opposed to, I guess, giving you what you want?
I don't know, ask Teofimo. Ask Teofimo. I've really no interest in the guy, really. But if the fight happens, the fight happens,
Do you think Bob would even risk that?
I don't think it's a risk.
For him, to send it
for
to
him,
you.
Of course, it's a massive fight for him, isn't it? It's him cashing in. It's him getting his lottery win. I think he's avoiding Kambosos. I think he's a wee bit scared of him. I think he's struggling to make the weight anyway. I think that's why he keeps pulling out.
What are you saying, Teo's struggling?
I think he's struggling to make the weight. I think that's why he keeps pulling out. I think he's scared the rematch with Loma as well, because he knows he fought an injured Lomachenko. So I think Lomachenko on full cylinders beats him.
How long do you planning on staying at 140?
I could do my whole career at 140 if I wanted to.
A rematch with Teofimo versus Lomachenko, would it still be the same in favor for Teofimo? 100% Lomachenko if he was in the ring?
No, it's a good fight. I'm not going to sit here and talk shit. It's a good fight, and I think Lopez done awesome in that last fight. He performed well. He got the tactics right. He got the game plan perfect on the night. He done it well. I just think Lomachenko was a little bit injured. He also started a little bit too late, which once he got started, Lopez was on the back foot, and was really struggling. So I think in the rematch, Loma goes earlier and he wins that fight.
What does it take for, Regis to deserve a rematch with you, seeing the fact that you had a great fight, but obviously you won, you outperformed and took his belt? Does Regis have to, move up?
He needs to get back up the scale. He needs to get back up the ladder. Again, I'm open to any fight. So he needs to climb back up the ladder. I've got all the belts. I'm looking to do other things. I'm looking to become two-weight world champion. I'm looking to be in massive fights. So that's my goals and ambitions. I think maybe Progress needs to get a couple of another big fights under his belt. Then we'll see what happens. I'm not shutting down any fight with anybody. So let's see what happens. See what comes my way.
If Regis and Jose Ramirez fought each other, seeing that you fought the best in the division and cleared it out, who would win that fight?
I think that's a good fight. I think it's a very tough fight. I think Ramirez is a lot stronger than Prograis, a lot more physical than Prograis. Prograis not the most physically strong, doesn't punch the hardest, but it's a good fight. Prograis is slick, he could use his boxing, but I think when you let Ramirez, get his momentum going, he can be quite tough for people and quite physically strong. So it's an interesting fight.
How much bigger has your star become since coming undisputed at 140?
Yeah, there's been a lot more sort of media stuff, and we're a lot more well known now. Especially over here. It's grown over here. My fan base over here is growing. in my last couple of fights, you know. So, it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger and better every time.
Do you like it? You seem like a quiet kind of reserved guy, but do you like the attention?
It doesn't bother me, you know. I'm not. All right, how you going? I'm not a show pony, man. You know, I'm not one for all the cameras and that. It doesn't bother me. It is what it is. It's part of the job. So, it's cool. It's got its perks and stuff. So, I just go about my every day-to-day life. Really, I'm just a normal guy, man.
Would you fight Ramirez again?
Ramirez? I don't think there's any point in fighting Ramirez. I don't think he only won 3 rounds. You know, I don't even think the fight was close. Despite what the judges said, which was disgusting.
Or the referee missing.
And the referee, you know, give him long counts. Always on my back, always pushing me back and always pulling me, and you know, it was just the fight wasn't even close. I think Ramirez only won 3 rounds.
Josh, we have Devin Haney over here that for him it's hard to make 135 already, so he is going to go up to 140. What do you think of him, and do you even consider fighting him one day?
Like I say, I'm open to anything. You know, if anything if it comes my way and it's right for me at the time, of course we'll take it. You know, I think he's a good fighter. I think he's very slick. Obviously, I see things in his game that I think I can expose and beat him. And if me and him fought, would I win? Yes. So, but he is a good fighter. Having said that, very good fighter.
What do you think about you're a student of the game, right? You watch boxing. You've been a part of boxing all your life. Who are some of the guys that you enjoy watching as a fight fan, as far as a lot of up-and-comers or even world champions for that matter?
To be fair, I don't watch a lot of boxing anymore. It's more the fighters that I watched when I was growing up. You know, I watched your Cottos, your Kawasaki's, your Mayweathers, your Pacquiao's, and all that. So I watched all these guys, Sugar Ray Leonard, and all that kind of stuff. Nowadays, I don't really pay much attention. Focus on myself and learning and getting better all the time. I watch the big fights when they're on. I'm interested in them and like watching all the big fights that are going on. But in terms of actually following the sport and ins and outs, and I don't really follow it that much, to be fair. But also I love the fighting game, but I don't follow it that much.
Well, let me ask you this. Question, changing gears. Anthony Joshua has been in the States recently. I know he's been moving around trying to find what appears to be a new trainer. There was rumors of him maybe teaming up with Eddie Reynoso, but now I believe it's rumors of him meeting up with Ronnie Shields, the great Ronnie Shields out of Houston. I know he trains the Charlo brother. What are your thoughts on that as far as, from a fighter standpoint, fighter switching trainers?
Well, I think he's switched trainers once or twice now. Well, he's always had Rob. All right, Eddie? How you doing, mate? He's always had Rob in his corner. I don't know if Rob McCracken is still going to be there or not, but what he's doing is, and I can understand it, he's trying to better himself, improve himself. He's trying to work on things that he wants to work on and improve on. So, from a fighter and a champion, you've got to respect it, because he's trying to better himself and improve himself. So, nothing but respect him, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's trying to correct his wrongs. So you can only respect him for that. He's still hungry and still wants to learn and still wants to improve. So you can only respect that.
And what do you feel as far as Joshua would need to do in the event, as far as to continuously get back to where he was at?
I think if he does, are you talking about the rematch with Usyk?
Yeah, he's going to fight Usyk.
I think if he does anything close to what he did the last time, it's the same result. What I think, and I said this on the lead up towards the first fight, what I think Joshua needs to do is use his natural size and ability and strength. His size and strength, his weight advantage. His natural, he's massive. Compared to Usyk, he's huge. Just impose that size and strength straight away from the first bell. Put Usyk on the back foot, like sort of closing up, pushing him back, tiring him out, making him fight a little bit dirty, sort of hit him around the shoulders, hit him around the back, around the head. Make it dirty and make it real physical and real tiring sort of fight for Usyk right from the off. If he does that, makes it a little bit more of imposing strength, just pushing forward a little bit more all the time, putting Usyk on the back foot. I'm not saying go in, go reckless and go out and just throw punches. It's educated forward front foot pressure, keeping the smaller guy on the back foot and using his size and strength. I think that's what he needs to do, and if he can do that, he can win it.
What do you think about Fury?
If he does anything else, what he did the last time, it's the same result.
What do you think about Fury and White, seeing the fact that's going to be the next heavyweight fight for Tyson?
That's Fury's. I don't even think that's a question who wins that one. That's Fury's fight, that one.
Is it easy? Why
I think that's an easy fight for Fury, yeah.
Is it because Dillian White's not as technical, or it's just...
I just think Fury's level is above where Dillian White is, I just think, no disrespect to Dillian White, he's a good fighter, he's he catches with that punches, and you're in trouble. But I just think Fury's too long in the tooth for that now. You know, he's went above that level now. He's at the top.
What about Usyk and Tyson Fury?
I think that's a very good fight. I think that's the only fighter that gets near Tyson, you know, in the heavyweight division. You know, that's going to be a very kind of chess match. If I think of a boxing match, that I think it would be a real chess match. Again, you can't bet against Fury. You know, he's brilliant, but so is Usyk. So, but I just think his unpredictability of Fury and the natural size and the boxing brain as well. I think Fury maybe edge it just.
Mikey Garcia, I know there was a lot of talks of him in the past, of him wanting to fight you. I know that, you know, they were speculating as far as maybe potentially offering you, or you offering him a fight. But he recently took a really tough defeat, man, against a Spaniard, Sandra Martin, I believe. Yeah. What is your thoughts as far as that fight, and were you surprised with the outcome?
I never seen the fight, but I wasn't surprised with the outcome, you know. Due to the fact that, you know, Mikey Garcia is a great fighter, you know, I just think it's the time off, the inactivity of him not being in the gym and sort of in the ring to fight and stuff. I just think the inactivity of him in recent has been probably the telling factor. I think that's probably what it was. I never seen the fight, but you know, Mikey, with all due respect, is not the fighter as what he was in his prime, you know.
What do you think he would have to do to get back to that? I mean, obviously he fought what many called the boogeyman at 147, jumping up from 135, 140, jumping to 147 is not his natural weight class, but you know, he dared to be great, and you know, he took a lot.
He's got respect. He's took all the big fights. He took challenges that are massive, you know, and he's tried it, you know. So you've got to respect him. I like Mikey. I've got a lot of time for Mikey. You know, I don't know. I don't know what he's got to do. We go back to the drawing board, maybe stay in the gym. I don't know if he's always in the gym or not. I don't know. Just I don't know. It's a hard question to answer that. Only Mikey can tell you that one.
No, Josh, I have to ask. I never got a chance to talk to you, but Shawn Porter spoke highly of like sparring you and things like that. Just what was that experience of sparring Shawn Porter way back when?
Yeah, that was back in 2016, 2017. I think it was. I think it was 2016 actually. Yeah, it was a long time ago. That was a great experience for myself. You know, Shawn Porter had been in big fights at the time, so that was a great experience for me. And you know, in the sparring, I was more than holding on. You know, so I did really well.
That's what he was saying. He was speaking highly of you.
Yeah, I did really well. You know, and the sparring was great. So I also got to spar with Ugas that trip as well. So yeah, I did brilliant with the two of them. So yeah, it was a real good experience for me at the time, and learning a lot of stuff as well. So yeah, it was good. And it was we were training out at Porter's gym at the time. So he sort of done the hospitality for us for the trip that last time. So yeah, I like Porter as well. He's a tough night for anybody.
What did Kenny say when he saw you for the first time when you were there? His dad.
Yeah, he was sort of impressed. I think he was impressed with what I saw as well. You know, it was good sparring. You know, it was good work, and I learned a lot at the time as well. So yeah, it was good.
What did Ugas think? What was Ugas's when you sparred him?
Yeah, that was good sparring as well. That was good sparring as well. You know, more than held him on with the two of them. So yeah, it was really good, and it just, you know.
Was he shocked when you
I wouldn't say shocked. You know, you get good sparring everywhere you go. You know, so. It was good. It was good at the time. So yeah.
What do you think of Ugas and Errol Spence?
Sorry?
Errol Spence versus Ugas?
I think Errol Spence in that one. Yeah, I think Errol Spence in that one. Yeah.
Awesome. I won't take too much of your time. Cheers, I really appreciate all the time you gave us. Really, thank you.
Taylor, we are for Jeremias
Alright, we got Devin, we got Mickey, we're getting Ben, we got Josh, we got Bill, Eddie, we got Robert, Sean got Sinicia over there. So yeah, I think we cleared house right there. So we're gonna start uploading. There's some stuff that Sean got with Devin after the press conference, and he's currently getting Ben Davison. We got Sinicia, we got some Bill, and some other interviews that's going to go up. So as always, appreciate you tuning in live, staying locked in. So we'll get all these other videos uploaded. So appreciate the time as always.